and welcome to PCTV on the Road, Pittsfield Community Television's program where we take you out of the studio and into the various locations that make the community of Pittsfield special. I'm Matthew Tucker, Pittsfield Community Television's Public Access Coordinator and the host of PCTV on the Road today. We've taken you so far this season to a bunch of iconic Pittsfield sites. However, this one's sort of exciting because this is amongst Pittsfield's most iconic sites and really one of the more beautiful sites, historic Wahconah Park. And I am here with the general manager of the Pittsfield Suns, Kristen Huss, to talk a little bit about the Suns and their summer this year, what the Suns are, what the Suns do, and their connection to this fantastic baseball park. So Kristen, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me, and thanks for coming here.
Absolutely, our pleasure. So first off, believe it or not, there are still some people who aren't as familiar as they should be with what the Pittsfield Suns are. So if you could give me just a little bit of background of how the Suns started and what they are as a baseball organization.
Sure. So the Pittsfield Suns, this is our 6th season here at Wahconah Park. It's a summer wood bat collegiate baseball league. So all our guys play at different colleges throughout the year, and then over the summer they come here, they play together. And basically the idea of the league is to get them more playing time and also to get them some exposure in front of scouts. So there's always scouts at our park, there's always scouts at all the different parks in the league, and it's really a great way for the scouts to see a lot of good talent from all over the place in one spot. So we have guys on our team from New Mexico, we have guys from Massachusetts, we have guys from all over the place. And part of the league rule is you need 13 guys from either a New England school or a New England hometown. So it keeps the league kind of localized too, which is pretty neat.
Nice. Yeah,
so and the Pittsfield Suns are owned by the Gold Clan Group, and they own 3 other baseball teams across the country. So they own the Hudson Valley Renegades, the Charleston River Dogs, the St. Paul Saints, and us. And pretty much they pride themselves in, providing family entertainment at affordable prices, and they really focus on the entertainment side of things. So we run this place as if it's a minor league baseball facility, and we run it with all the wacky theme nights and all the cool in-between inning contests and all the fun promotions. And, we're here to show you great stuff on the field, but also off the field as well. And we want the whole experience to just be an amazing night out for everybody.
Nice. So do you have any knowledge of the history of how the Suns came to be brought here to Wahconah Park and begin to be part of the long baseball tapestry that Pittsfield has?
Yeah, I think it was pretty much good timing. The owners of the team have a house in the Berkshires, and Berkshire baseball has always been important to them, and they've always, they grew up coming to this facility, and I think a team opened up, and at that point the league was just starting, and it was the perfect fit for a team to be here and be in that league, so it just kind of all worked out perfectly.
Nice. So you were talking about family entertainment and the experience here at Wahconah Park being more than just baseball. Could you go into a little bit more of how things during the summer here at Wahconah Park are more than just college guys extending their baseball season?
Yeah, absolutely. So, everybody asks me what I do when the team is not here, what we do all winter, and basically myself and my other staff member, Brian, we sit down and we plan. And we come up with ideas of how we're going to entertain people from when they walk into the gates to when they leave. And what are we going to do to keep everybody's interest? So every night is themed. Tonight's theme is space. Sunday we have Star Wars. We had a Christmas in July game. We had an Easter Sun's Day game where we had an Easter egg on the field after the game. So every night is themed, and we try to, if it's an Irish night, then we'll have an Irish food special, and we'll have Irish step dancers, and we'll play Irish music. We had a beach night with a luau theme, so we did kind of like Hawaiian lunch night special in the food. So we try to take each game and break it down and figure out what else can we do to have fun here. And then, you know, we like surprises, so you never know what's going to happen. Our fireworks are amazing. So we have 4 fireworks shows. We're doing 2 giveaways. We're doing a cap giveaway next week, and then we're doing a replica jersey giveaway. So it's a lot of fun here. And all the in-between inning contests, we're always taking, you know, like what's popular with the kids, what do they like to do, and, you know, try to bring them to life. So we try to just have fun here and just make it as entertaining as possible. And I mean,
sounds really cool.
It is, and we have a great team, and they're a lot of fun to watch, and these guys love to play baseball, and you never can count them out of a game. I've seen them come back being down 7 runs and winning. So an inside the park grand slam here this year.
Jeez, nice.
So these guys, they play hard, and they're a lot of fun to watch. And they're good with the fans. They understand how important the community is here, and they understand, you know, that the community loves them, and they love the community. And one of the reasons a lot of the players like coming to Pittsfield is because they've heard the reputation of how the community supports them and comes out to games and stuff.
Nice.
And they're great with the kids. They'll sign autographs. They'll talk to people. They'll take pictures. They're really awesome.
So since we're talking about the players, what is the process for collegiate players to be chosen to be part of the Suns team? Is that, I know you were mentioning that part of it has to do with localization, as in the New England schools or hometowns. A certain number of these kids would have to come from those, but how are those players selected?
A lot of times our coach handles that. So a lot of times you start building relationships with colleges, and then you know, they'll say, hey, I have somebody that I think will be a good fit for you, and vice versa. We might need a pitcher, and my coach might know of somebody at a school that would be a good fit for us. So it's kind of, we have a strong reputation now, and which is great among schools. And
good.
It's getting very competitive to play here, which is pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, we're turning down kids a lot of.
Really?
Yeah, so
that's fantastic.
The level of playing is pretty impressive.
Nice. So is there clearly there's almost a waiting list and a certain level of competition, but is there see, this is funny, this is where my complete lack of baseball knowledge begins to bubble out. Is there a process where is the coach communicating with coaches at the other schools to find out where the talent is, or do the Suns have like a scout that goes to the schools to watch?
We don't have a scout, but pretty much we're already starting getting inquiries for next year. So as soon as the season's done, our coach is talking to other coaches, and then, you know, other college coaches are calling us saying, hey, I have somebody that, you know, for next summer that I think would be good for you, and then vice versa. And we're getting emails. I get emails every day from players or coaches of players saying, I have this guy, here's his stats, is there room? So it's pretty cool.
Nice. Now, do the players come back for multiple years? Is it something where they get to play a year and they are done with the league, or they go to a different team?
Some will go to other leagues, and then some, I think we had 5 returners this year from last year.
Nice.
Which was great, and they're all awesome players and great guys, so I was happy to have all of them back. But some will move on to other leagues. It just really depends.
Okay.
Some might just want to, you know, go away for a summer somewhere different, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and
experience
others,
something different.
Exactly, and then others find a home here.
Nice. So there's that level of continuity where you've got players coming back, and the fans who are the hardcore, diehard fans, and I know a good number of them in Pittsfield who are, you know, out there on social media communicating, hey, I've got my season tickets, we're going to be there every single game. You've got that continuity so that, you know, I saw him last year. He did a great job. I'm looking forward to seeing how he's improved.
And which is cool too,
over the year.
I'll get text messages during the winter from fans being like, hey, did you see so-and-so did this at their college game? And hey, you know, check out this college page. There's an article about so-and-so. So they follow up on
Really?
guys, and they really follow up on them all year round, which is pretty neat too.
That's really cool that the fans connect to the players on top of the involvement in the Suns so that they're following their collegiate career throughout.
Right. And which is pretty cool too, is one thing I got to mention is all our players are housed by local families in the community.
Nice.
So, I mean, without the host families, it would be very difficult for them. But we have several host families that open their doors and let the players stay with them for the whole summer, and it's pretty awesome. It's great on both ends. It's nice for the players to have a family here, and then it's nice for the families to have a summer sun, as as you could say. But it's a great experience, and some of these host parents have been doing it all 6 years and have done it even for teams prior to the Suns, and I have a few new ones that came on last year and this year, and they're hooked. And I think the hardest thing is, and I tell them the one thing I can't prepare them for, and the hardest thing they'll face all summer is when the player leaves, is saying goodbye. Other than that, it's a great experience.
So I'm trying to sort of visualize the experience for a player. So they've been selected. They're informed that they're coming. They're going to be part of the Suns. They come in before the season starts in June.
Yeah, so our season kicked off June 3rd, and the players arrived Memorial Day, so not very far before that.
Geez,
so they pretty much, they finished up their college season, and some guys, were in their own championships and playoffs and this and that, so they were all kind of trickling in the first week. But they didn't really have much of a break, so they play a full college season, then they're on the road, they come here.
They take a quick breath and they're back.
Yeah, some of them have like a day in between, some of them came straight here, so it's a lot.
Is there any sort of time where they've got to sort of catch up in order to become a cohesive team? Because it sounds like they've got about a week before they're out on the field and they're ready to go.
Pretty much, and I mean, some of these guys have played against each other a lot, but never with each other. So, but I mean, this team, they seem to just kind of mesh pretty well, and it didn't take them very long at all. And I mean, they started off the season 8-0, and then right now we're doing pretty well. So they just somehow meshed together pretty good.
Nice.
And they're a great group of guys on and off the field. They're all awesome. So we're happy to have all of them.
That's fantastic. So you were telling me about, so we've been talking about baseball and the team and sort of the process that the team gets selected and put together and get out on the field, and the stuff that you have to go through throughout the year. Tell me a little bit about the process that you've gone through. And I know you did a little bit sort of in short form, but the process that you've gone through for the 2017 entertainment season to make, talking about themes and things. How do all of these pieces get pulled together between you and your small staff?
That's the fun part, or one of the fun things about the job. It's you get to be a kid again, and you get to kind of, we sit around and we throw out ideas, and then we see like what movies are coming out over the summer, what's popular with kids right now, what's and what worked last year, and what were our more popular things over the years, and then we try to keep them. So then we throw out a bunch of ideas, and then we start, narrowing it down and seeing what we really want to spend our focus on. Then we kind of come up with our promo list, and then it's like, well, what are we going to do this night? What can we do that night? And how do we add to it? So that it's creative. And then when our interns start, we also ask them to come up with ideas. And I think one of the other fun things is we'll go to schools a lot to talk to kids and different things. And I always, no matter where I am, I always ask them for ideas. And, this year I was speaking at an elementary school, and a kid said, hey, why don't you do Freedom Friday and honor the vets? And sure enough, that made the promo schedule.
Nice.
So it's nice to get some fresh perspective, because sometimes I don't always know what's hip out there anymore. So and I've been doing this a long time, so sometimes it's nice just to hear from kids and see what makes them want to come to a game, or when you're talking to a high school class, what besides the baseball would they like to see go on at Wahconah Park?
Yeah. How has that sort of method of bringing together the collegiate baseball players who put on a fantastic show with the entertainment around it, how has that helped the Suns as an organization grow? Because I would imagine that that's a very different experience than just folks expecting to come to a baseball game.
You know, I think just the overall experience has just really helped us grow because people are having fun from the moment they walk in to the moment they leave. You know, we have some guy who does balloon animals, we have a face painter, I have people that come just for the bounce house or the slide, and everybody's coming here for different reasons. Ultimately, it all stems back to watching the guys play.
Right.
And I mean, they put on a good enough show as it is. They're phenomenal out there. But I think it's just when you add the other little pieces around it, you just make an overall just amazing experience. And I think it's fun for the players too, is seeing everything that goes on in the park. And you know, some of them have never played in front of this many people, and especially like the 4th of July crowd. And
I heard that this year's 4th of July crowd was a record breaker for the Suns.
It was. And I mean, it was a beautiful day out. It was just an amazing night. The fireworks show was fantastic. So it was a great night. And I think every year we're just growing.
Nice. That's fantastic. How has doing all of these events, both the entertainment and the baseball itself, been affected by being here at Wahconah Park? Because Wahconah Park has its own long history in the city of Pittsfield. And I have to imagine that has put a certain spin or color on both the games here in the space as well as the activities that happen around.
It sure does, and I think one of the neat things is I moved up here 2 years ago, and when I first got here and I told everybody what I did, anywhere I went, everybody told me a story about this place. Someone they saw growing up playing here, a game that they went to, an event that was taking place here. And you know, during the day, if there's no game, I'll be in the trailer, and all of a sudden I'll see people walking the front gates with cameras, and this happens almost every day. Someone's stopping by, and I've heard stories from, I was a trainer in the 1960s.
Wow.
Here, and he just walked around and like showed me different things that he remembered when he worked here for games, and he wasn't even a trainer for our team, he was a trainer for a visiting team.
Okay.
And then, you know, I've heard stories of, I used to come here as a little kid, but I moved away, I wanted to show my family, or so there was a guy who played on the Black Bears that stopped by recently. So, you know, and then there's just people that'll stop by just because they've heard of the park and just want to check it out. We're now the only stadium left that has sundaes, so that makes us pretty interesting. And that's another thing, that people come to games and, you know, they want to see a sundae, and if they don't see one, they come back. And it's
really?
Yes, it's pretty interesting.
So just to explain again for people who aren't necessarily familiar with baseball, and I do know this because I learned about it ahead of time, rain delays are relatively common.
Those are no fun.
Those are no fun at all. But they're something that a lot of people are familiar with, where the weather is just misbehaving. But a sun delay, because of the position of Wahconah Park, the sun ends up in the batter's eyes?
So the stadium faces the wrong way. And it was one of 2 ballparks in America, but the problem, now the other ballpark is not being used. So we're the only team that has this problem. And when the sun sets, the batters can't see. So the umpire will stop the game. And we've had 20-minute sun delays. We've had hour-long sun delays.
Jeez.
And so it makes it unique. And I think one of my other favorite things about the ballpark is the manual scoreboard. That in between innings, the players run out and they change the numbers on the manual scoreboard.
The players change the? Wow. See, I would have thought that there would have been a person doing the. That's really cool.
It's fun, yeah. The players all fight over who gets through and stuff. So that just makes us unique, and I think that's part of the charm here. Is just all those things.
So, talking about the charm and the people that Wahconah Park brings, I want to go back to the fans. Do you have any moments or stories from the fans that sort of stick out for you, as far as either things they do at the games or things that you've seen them do outside of the season?
I love our fans, and we have a good amount of people that, you know, support us no matter what happens, and they're here every single game, whether it's raining, sunny. You know, they're here day in and day out, and they stay the whole game, and they root for the guys, and, you know, they really take a liking to the guys, and we have fans we have fans that'll come in, and when we have to put the tarp on the fields because it's going to rain, they'll volunteer to help us.
Wow.
Like after a game, like if we're tarping the field, they'll see it and they'll just, no questions asked, we'll just run out there and help us.
Nice.
We have fans that'll bring the players food. You know, it's really incredible the support that we receive from them, and I mean, no team can ever survive without the community, and I think no community can survive without a baseball team. I think it goes kind of hand in hand, but I mean, the fans are really amazing to not just our staff, but to the players as well. And they're diehards, and they love Pittsfield baseball, and they're a lot of fun.
So we've gone sort of over a lot of information this episode, talking about the history of the Suns coming to Wahconah Park and the process, and everything. We've seen everything but a game, which is coming up. Part of our PCTV on the road experiences, we are doing a Suns game, which is something that we haven't had the opportunity to do, and we're very excited about being able to do a Suns baseball game for the first time.
We're excited to have you guys here for that. It's going to be awesome.
Is there anything that I haven't asked you a question about over the whole span of the information that we've been going over that you want to make sure that we talk about?
I mean, I think we've covered a lot. We've talked a lot about the players and the experience, and one thing we didn't talk about was the food, and I think that's also something to mention is, you know, we have your typical ballpark food of hot dogs, hamburgers, fries.
Near and dear to my heart.
Fingers, but we also have some fun specials that we have come up with this year. We have what's called a Sunwich, and it's basically a grilled cheese hot dog. A Frankensun. It's a grilled cheese hot dog.
Wow.
And that's my favorite food item in the ballpark. It's amazing. If you like grilled cheese sandwiches and hot dogs, this is like two things merged together that are pure heaven. We do actually, what's very popular here is we do a grilled peanut butter jelly and fluff sandwich, which is a huge hit with fans. And then we do that hash brown sandwich, which is 2 hash browns with mac and cheese and bacon in the middle of it.
Good grief.
Yeah, so I mean, everybody should come hungry, because you'll definitely find something to enjoy. But that's another fun part of this place, is just coming up with new ideas for folk food.
It's funny coming up with the questions and the things to talk about for this episode. And I joked with our production team that although I was the right guy as the public guy to chat with you, I felt a little overwhelmed because, as I've joked, I enjoy sports, but I'm not a sports fan. And I'm just in awe of the amount of stuff that's here to be experienced for someone who isn't necessarily just a sports fan, because you can watch the game and be able to follow a good baseball game, but there's so much more experience-wise.
Exactly, and that's what we want is, you know, we want something for everybody. So even, you know, we came up with ideas to have like dance groups come out and perform on the field before the game, just to give them more exposure. And
nice.
You know, there's always something for someone. And I mean, we had Minion Night and Star Wars nights coming up, so even if you're a fan of those movies, you know, you get to come see the Minions but see a baseball game at the same time. So it's pretty cool. You know, we just want everything in one place.
Nice.
And you get more than just baseball here, which is pretty great.
So I want to thank you not just for being our guest today, but for being such good stewards as sort of the representative of the Suns of the Pittsfield Community Park, because as you said before, this is a place with a tremendous amount of history and a deep connection to the community. And from our conversation, it sounds like you've and the team have done a tremendous amount to be good stewards of the space and make it something worthwhile for the community to continue to enjoy for years to come. So
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having us. Thanks for coming here today. I'm excited.
It's our pleasure, and we're excited to be continuing to do productions today and to get to enjoy a baseball game.
Yes, and fireworks.
And fireworks, absolutely.
You're going to love those.
So I want to thank you for joining me today on PCTV on the Road. I've been speaking with Kristen Huss, the general manager of the Pittsfield Suns. And I want to take this opportunity to remind you at home that you've been watching the PCTV on the Road experience all season long and seeing us go to exotic locales in Pittsfield. But I want to say that the most exotic locales that we could be going to are the ideas in your minds, because Pittsfield Community Television is your community television station. Our members, for an extremely reasonable membership fee, can come to our organization and be able to produce programming talking about whatever ideas you can imagine. So I want to encourage you, if you have not already, please stop by Pittsfield Community Television Studio at 4 Federico Drive out on Outer East Street. Visit us online at pittsfieldtv.org and learn more about your community organization and see if going to places like Wahconah Park with our team is something you might be interested in. For Pittsfield Community Television, my crew, and everyone else, I am Matthew Tucker, Pittsfield Community Television's Public Access Coordinator, saying thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.